Hello everyone and welcome back to Sendik's Weather Channel, and boy do I have an update for you. Are we on the brink of a severe cold spell? Let's find out in today's video. Oh, God, this is an interesting one. So today we're going to have a look at all the latest from the 12Z suite of models. We're using a different website today because I really want to show you the ECM charts early because boy, they will surprise you with what they are showing. First though, we've got to look at the ensemble graph for the GFS 12Z suite. You can see that it's going to remain below average for the next few days. From around even day 3, there is a massive amount of spread of solutions between colder runs and milder runs. But as you can see, the trend is down into the second and third week of Feb. With the runs going down to -5 and many runs sink into deep cold or bitterly cold air. Below -10 is the threshold for bitterly cold air, and some even getting as low as the Beast, which is around -15, the Beast from the East, which is pretty incredible. And some of these runs are quite ridiculous with what they are showing. Now remember, they are just individual runs, we're looking for trends, but the chance is there for something severe to happen. Well, we'll get straight on with things. So we're going to start with the UK Met Office, which has high pressure again building to our northeast, winds in from the east-southeast for the next few days, up to Thursday, when high pressure ridges out in the Atlantic, a very strong block in the Atlantic between Scandinavia and Greenland, and connected to the south and towards Spain. And we are beginning to bring the wind in from a cold easterly. Then the high pressure sits over into the north of the country, between Greenland and Iceland, and just over to our west, like a mid-Atlantic ridge. We begin to bring the wind in from a bitterly cold easterly, and you can see where this is going. All the very cold air is just to our east. We're pulling it in from the east, and we've got a very strong block in the Atlantic, and we are bringing in bitterly cold air from the east, and that looks prolonged. It looks sustained. The -10 line is on the east coast, and it looks prolonged. Now this would be copious amounts of snow, lots of snow. Lots of different events could happen. This block looks like it's going to be weakened by this low pressure, which could run in and just produce more snow as the jet streams on a northwest-southeast alignment. Obviously, that's a lot of surmising, but the potential is there for that low to produce a lot of snow for the south. Could become a channel low or something, but again, just surmising, but there's a lot of potential with that run. And there's been a lot of upgrades from these model runs. Now, please leave a like on this video if you enjoy, to get it out to as many people as you can, because things could be getting quite interesting with regards to UK weather anyway, for a while. But only, again, signs at the moment, but it could be very interesting. This is the icon then. We're looking at the longer range. The short range could be some wintry showers around Monday and Tuesday. Obviously, it's quite cold at the moment. But then if we have a look to Wednesday, you can see already changes. High pressure's moving up towards Greenland. And between Greenland and Scandinavia, winds are originating from the east. We're beginning to drag in some colder air. Then the polar front sinks southwards, and this is a properly sustained block at the end of the icon run. Blocking extending up towards Greenland. In the Atlantic, a proper negative NAO signal and AO signal being suggested here, which you'll see from here. The AO is going strongly, and I mean very strongly negative, which indicates a strong block. And also the NAO is also going weakly negative, also suggesting a block is possible. Now, this allows some cold in as well. That's about to drag in the -10 line from Scandinavia. Got plenty of cold to our east. Plenty of cold. That is deep cold to our east there. -10, -15, -20. You can see the polar plunge to our east there, sinking southwards, bringing in some bitterly cold air into Eastern Europe there. That's on its way here. Now, if we have a look at the GEM next, then this also shows the same pattern again. High pressure moving towards Greenland and Iceland. Winds beginning to originate from the southeast by Friday into Saturday. Some cold air making its way towards us, and then the high pressure continues to remain towards Greenland and Iceland, preventing the Atlantic from moving in, and we stay quite cold. The -5 lines through the country, the -10 lines just to our east, and that is a pretty cold run. And then we have the GFS, which is the bad model today, because that one has, even at day 5 there's uncertainty, has that high pressure moving northwards, but then collapses under this low, which is spun up in the Atlantic, runs into that block, topples it down, and it develops it way too much, so the development of this low in the Atlantic spins up and causes the high to collapse. But again, high pressure sits around the country, tries to retrogress towards Greenland, but can't because the Atlantic's too strong. Does eventually in the longer term, at the end of the run, brings in some deep cold from the east, the -10, -15 line into the country. Daytime temperatures in the freezer, highs of -1, -2, and lows of -6. Pretty cold, I'd say. Pretty cold. Obviously, it's the end of the run, so anything past day 10 is uncertain at most times, even, but past day 5 is uncertain at the moment with these runs ticking down this low. If we can get rid of this low pressure and build high pressure to our north and east, then we are locked into a cold spell. We just need to eradicate that pattern from showing up. We'll have a look on WX charts for the ECM now, which is a bitterly cold run, as you're about to see. Witness this. So we're on a different website here, we're on WX charts, but again you can kind of see the pattern. The yellows are high pressure, and the blues and purples are low pressure. So as you can see, by the 15th of Feb, high pressure's ridging out in the Atlantic again, very similar to all the other models besides the GFS. Ridging out to our north building, got warm air evection going on there, shooting up towards Greenland. Looks like a prolonged block. Low pressures to our east, and winds are in from a bitterly cold easterly direction. This pattern remains, got low pressure sinking southwards. This is prolonged, sustained. I mean, what the hell is that? That is a lot. And I mean, that is a proper beast from the east-esque easterly. Sorry about my voice there. That is a bitterly cold, prolonged easterly. That is very insane. Not often you see that. If you have a look at temperature anomalies, I mean, they're in the absolute freeze, 10 to 12 degrees below average in the south and east there. If you can just make it out on the chart. The temperatures are between -8 and -10 and -15 for the central and eastern regions. That is what you call a proper easterly wind, proper Scandi high. If you have a look at the snow, there's not much there, but again, so far out, I won't worry about it, but there'll be little low pressure systems, little lows spinning up, bringing up lots of snow, copious amounts of snow, and that is a dream run for coldies. Extends out a bit further, and the high pressure sustains towards Greenland and Iceland, and brings in more cold air, little troughs sinking southwards from the north, bringing in more bitterly cold air from the east. I mean, that is a prolonged and very interesting block. That would take a lot to move. There's just tons of cold air remaining to our east, sinking into Western Europe, flooding into Western Europe, I should say, bringing in bitterly cold air from the east. We'll have to see how it's supported on the ensembles, but that is a severely cold run. Definitely daytime temps below freezing, and then severe harsh overnight frost and copious amounts of snow, especially in the east with those easter winds, little troughs, little features coming up at short notice. It is very interesting to see. But yeah, maybe we can actually extend out a bit more now, and it maintains the block. That is prolonged, and there's low pressures running in from the Atlantic. Look how far south the jet stream is. It's going into Spain, France, and Spain and Portugal there. It's way south, maybe even getting close to Africa. But yeah, that is bitterly cold air from the east. That'll take a lot to move. What's my thoughts then? I do actually think we will see a severe cold spell, which is why it's in the title, because the runs are now going for it. In the GFS ensembles, there is a 50% chance of deep cold. I'm putting the chance at 35, but I think 35% chance deep cold. But that percentage has increased. So please stay tuned with the channel. We'll keep going up over everything. And I thank you all very much for watching this video. A very interesting one. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.